Part 2 of Chapter 11 from Mouse Lord book. Next quotation. If we tried to go on the offensive when the masses are not yet awakened, that would be adventurism. If we insisted on leading the masses to do anything against their will, we would certainly fail. If we did not advance when the masses demand advance, that would be right opportunism. Right opportunism as in political right. Next quotation. Commandism is wrong in any type of work, because in overstepping the level of political consciousness of the masses and violating the principle of voluntary mass action, it reflects the disease of impetuosity. Our comrades must not assume that everything they themselves understand is understood by the masses. Whether the masses understand it and are ready to take action can be discovered only by going into their midst and making investigations. If we do so, we can avoid commandism. Tailism in any type of work is also wrong, because in falling below the level of political consciousness of the masses and violating the principle of leading the masses forward, it reflects the disease of dilatoriness. Our comrades must not assume that the masses have no understanding of what they do not yet understand. It often happens that the masses outstrip us and are eager to advance a step, and that nevertheless our comrades fail to act as leaders of the masses and tail behind certain backward elements, reflecting their views and moreover mistaking them for those of the broad masses. Next quotation. Take the ideas of the masses and concentrate them. Then go to the masses, persevere in the ideas, and carry them through, so as to form correct ideas of leadership, such as the basic method of leadership. Next quotation. In all the practical work of our party, all correct leadership is necessarily from the masses to the masses. This means take the ideas of the masses, scattered and unsystematic ideas, and concentrate them. Through study, turn them into concentrated and systematic ideas. Then go to the masses and propagate and explain these ideas until the masses embrace them as their own. Hold fast to them and translate them into action, and test the correctness of these ideas in such action. Then, once again, concentrate ideas from the masses, and once again go to the masses so that the ideas are preserved in and carried through. And so on, over and over again, in an endless spiral, with the ideas becoming more correct, more vital, and richer each time. Such is the Marxist theory of knowledge. Next quotation. We should go to the masses and learn from them, synthesize their experience into better, articulated principles and methods, then do propaganda among the masses, and call upon them to put these principles and methods into practice, so as to solve their problems and help them achieve liberation and happiness. Next quotation. There are people in our leading organs in some places that think that it is enough for the leaders alone to know what the party's policies are, and that there is no need to let the masses know them. This is one of the basic reasons why some of our work cannot be done well. Next quotation. In all mass movements, we must make a basic investigation and analysis of the number of active supporters, opponents, and neutrals, and must not decide problems subjectively and without basis. Next quotation. The masses in any given place are generally composed of three parts: the relatively active, the intermediate, and the relatively backward. The leaders must therefore be skilled in uniting the small number of active elements around the leadership, and must rely on them to raise the level of intermediate elements and to win over the backward elements. Next quotation. To be good at translating the party's policy into action of the masses, to be good at getting not only the leading cadres, but also the broad masses to understand and master every movement and every struggle we launch, this is an art of Marxist-Leninist leadership. It is also the dividing line that determines whether or not we make mistakes in our work. Next quotation. However active the leading group may be, its activity will amount to fruitless effort by a handful of people unless combined with activity of the masses. On the other hand, if the masses alone are active without a strong leading group to organize their activity properly, such activity cannot be sustained for long, or carried forward in the right direction, or raised to a high level. Next quotation. Production by the masses, the interests of the masses, the experiences and feelings of the masses, to these the leading cadre should pay constant attention. Final quotation from chapter 11. We should pay close attention to the well-being of the masses, from the problems of land and labor to those of fuel, rice, cooking oil, and salt. All such problems concerning the well-being of the masses should be placed on our agenda. We should discuss them, adopt and carry out decisions, and check up on the results. We should help the masses to realize that we represent their interests and that our lives are intimately bound up with theirs. We should help them to proceed from these things to an understanding of the higher tasks which we have put forward, the tasks of the Revolutionary War, so that they will support the revolution and spread it throughout the country, respond to our political appeals, and fight to the end for victory in the revolution. This was chapter 11 from Mouse Little Red Book. Thanks for listening.